You mentioned that you were on a conference call with the Government of Canada lawyers. Now, I know there's certain things you're not at liberty to tell us about because you have you want a good working relationship with the other lawyers, and there's certain things that are confidential. But is it true to say they wanted you to abandon this lawsuit? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, they've taken the position that because the travel mandate forcing millions of Canadians either into vaccination or depriving them of their fundamental rights of mobility and flying, that they say we should just drop our charter challenge and drop our court case because the government's now suspended that mandate. And we said no. Our intention is to proceed with the case. This is clearly something the court needs to rule on. The government said numerous times, the various ministers in the press conference today, that they will re-invoke the travel mandates without hesitation. They will re-invoke the federal worker and the airport worker mandates without hesitation. So we're going to take them on their word, and we want this to go to court.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a long shot of the government to try and get you just to walk away. It's an excellent document. Our viewers will remember we went through it page by page. There's important reasons to have this trial, even if the issue feels moot today. As you said, it could come back at any time. The government said that. But we need to learn more. We need to learn on what basis this was made, if it was motivated by politics, which I suspect, because we need to know what the government, how it came up with this. It was all done in secret. There was no debate in Parliament over this. And we need the courts to weigh in on whether or not that's acceptable under the Charter, because we just simply have not had our courts speak out on any of these lockdowns. And this is one of the worst.
Let me shine some light on something here for the first time. I've been very quiet recently because we have been in cross-examinations on the Peckford Charter Challenge. So the government brought forth a surprising number of government officials and external experts, 16 in total. And so these are the people that the ministers keep referring to as we're relying on the experts. And the testimony that we got from those experts in cross-examination, even today, it's still going on. It started mid-May, and the cross-examinations are scheduled to conclude at the end of June. It's just been a grueling daily schedule here. Mm-hmm. But for example, the head epidemiologist for the Public Health Agency of Canada admitted while I was cross-examining her that they never recommended vaccination of air travelers. I was stunned. And I can provide you the transcript. I can provide you with her affidavit. The written advice that they provided did not identify vaccination as a mitigation strategy. They identified masking. They identified spacing at arrivals, departures, and on the plane and things like that, a quarantine area if someone was sick. And when I put it to her that they hadn't in fact recommended vaccination, this is the head epidemiologist for the Government of Canada, she said, she volunteered that the reason is the scientific evidence doesn't support that it would be effective. So through this trial, we've had this incredible disconnect where we've had the politicians saying, oh, the experts are telling us this. We're cross-examining the experts and looking at their filed evidence. It's not saying this. And they're saying, oh, no, this is a political decision. Clearly, the government, the Liberal government, has been playing politics with Canadians' fundamental charter rights.
You know, it sounds very similar to when the public safety minister and the prime minister were saying the police demanded that we invoke the Emergencies Act. The police did it. We just relied on their advice. And all the police chiefs in question said, we never asked for that. Don't put it on us. Politics, lack of transparency, lack of honesty. It's clear why they had to get Jody Wilson-Raybould out of there, because the ministers they have in there will literally do or say anything for their political goals. That's stunning. And yes, please do. If you're able to send us the transcripts of this, we would love to do journalism about it. The head epidemiologist for Public Health Canada saying they never recommended this. That's shocking.
Not only that, the head policy expert for Transport Canada testified and included in her affidavit that they made a conscious decision not to grant exemptions for travel on compassionate grounds. That was a conscious decision to deprive Canadians who are trying to get a parent who is trying to get to their adult child's bedside who's been injured in a car accident and dying on the other side of the country, someone trying to get to their elderly parent's bedside while they're dying of cancer, or to their funeral, or to a graduation. They made a conscious decision in order to incentivize Canadians to get vaccinated to do that. It's just remarkable, the evidence that's come out. But so, yeah, and this is in if somebody's really keen, you can search at the courthouse, you'll get their affidavits. They're part of the public record, and you'll be very surprised what's in there. That's
incredible. So basically they said at people's worst day in their lives, when they're in panic, when they have hours left to visit with a loved one before they die, when there's a crisis, that's the perfect time to get them, to force them to get jabbed. Although actually it wouldn't even work, because you need to have one jab, wait, get 2 jabs. Like, it doesn't even make sense, other than as a vendetta, other than as a punishment, which is not connected to the goal of public health, just a political punishment for those who dared to object to Justin Trudeau's demands. That's incredible. So that's a head of policy for Transport Canada.
Yes, Ezra, speaking of punishment, I had to listen carefully today. Did you notice whose mandate continues of all the sectors? Travelers, federal government workers, and workers at airports all had the vaccine mandate lifted. Did you notice the group that got left out?
Who was that?
Truckers.
Oh my God. Well,
truckers. They're the only group that's left. Oh, and I don't know, was there something that happened in Ottawa that might have upset our prime minister? So the only group that has not had their mandate lifted today is truckers.
That was an excerpt from my daily TV-style show called The Ezra Levant Show. Each weekday, I do a monologue on the news of the day. Then I interview a fascinating guest. I read some fan mail or hate mail, depends on which I like more. And we end with a video of the day. You can get it all at rebelnewsplus.com.